boy, my friends, this professional virgin is dying. I don't know what I've been battling for the past couple days, but it's inside me and it doesn't want to leave. But you know what? You know what also doesn't want to leave? The passion of virginity, which is why today I'm going to be bringing you guys a hot video on what could possibly be one of my favorite tricks of all time. I remember trying to raise enough money to try to convince my mother to purchase this trick. Obviously, that was in moot because I never actually got to get this trick. However, it's still one of the ones that I think is a classic of modern magic by a magician that was gone too soon in Dean Dill. And this very well could be his signature routine that he called Explosion. Now, Dean Dill had a number of routines that became very, very popular amongst magicians. But this one, I would say, is probably his most popular, as you're going to see, because it's just a crazy matrix routine taken over the top. You never expect the ending. If you haven't seen this before, I recommend clicking on the link in the description section below and then seeing this video afterwards so you could then watch it and then not have it spoiled. But other than that, let's just take a look at it and see what I'm talking about.
I'd like to do my favorite trick for you right now. It's called Explosion. Watch carefully, sit back, and enjoy. 4 coins, 2 hands.
Now, this video is not about the method. It's a bunch of shells. You could figure that out if you've been in magic for more than 17 seconds. But the point of what I want to convey is Dean Dill's naturalness. When it comes to his handling of coins, and when it comes to anything really that Dean Dill does, he's very natural when it comes to the way that he handles the props. And in this case, when you see that he's moving these coins around, he's going to do some gestures with his hands that convey that the hand is empty and that there's not anything really there. And that's all done intentionally. Even in this initial get ready phase where he's putting these coins from one side to the other, he's setting up for the first transfer of the coin, and yet it seems like nothing has happened, and yet here this sets up the remainder of the effect. So it's very natural, and it's very great to watch him work because, you know, you're truly watching a master at his craft. And there we have the first transferring of the coin. But I want you to notice this little gesture that he does where he pulls his hands towards his body and then he sort of does a little movement there. All that, again, implies that the hands are empty and there's nothing really hiding there. He slides the hands naturally, and then now he's going to be able to put one shell on top of the other. Again, the method's irrelevant, but those little gestures all add up and they snowball into you assuming that there's actually nothing hiding under his hand. Well, we know the better. A couple things to note here. Firstly is that this routine is not easy to do. It's not easy to perform. Despite the gaffes and gimmicks used in the actual trick itself, it's still a very advanced handling of this classic coins across. And also, I've never noticed this, but this is a wonderful way to get into a traditional matrix because you see the coins start off in a linear path, I would say, with one side of the coins, one row, and then they kind of go from one side to the other. And then here is where it goes off into a traditional matrix display, which I thought is a wonderful way to get into a standard matrix effect, but without having the cards or coins put in this weird grid. Here, it makes sense because now we have 2 coins on either side. So why not separate it and make it a little bit more difficult for you, ostensibly the performer, by putting a little bit more distance between the coins. So I thought this a wonderful progression when it came to this routine and something that I've never thought of before. As we could see from that mind-blowing sequence, the gaffes really help in this effect. Usually you're doing a lot of sort of moving of one coin. Here you have more access because of the nature of the gimmicks and what it allows you to do, especially with the ending, to be able to be a lot more fair and to, in this case, have your hands very far apart and still be able to transfer the coin not only to it, but back. So you see him doing that constantly where the coin goes back and then forth and then back. It's a wonderful gimmick. Another wonderful property of the actual gimmicks that he's employing is that you could show your hands empty. So notice that you could offload, in this case, the shell on top of the coin, and you could actually clean up and show your hands to be unequivocally empty. And that's only due to the fact that you have what is maybe 17 different shells at play here. So it's possible with this routine, and I think it's just another example of the mastery of Dean Dill. Now, if you want to get close to that, I suggest the PigCake Magic Academy, the home of over 1,500 videos going over card stuff, coin stuff, everything you need to become the best magician you could possibly be. All for the low, low price of $5 a month, which is the equivalent of a White Claw. And you get access to all those videos, and I'm always uploading new content. So it's not just that, you're always getting new content. As a matter of fact, there's probably more content than you could ever consume. Check it out, the PigCake Magic Academy. Now, this is the end of the conventional matrix style routine, and here you're going to notice that he gets into a kickback, and then it's where it actually goes into the explosion sequence of the routine, which I still can't get over. I don't think it's possible to do a matrix sequence and not do at least one part where they all go back simultaneously in one corner. Now, if you notice, because of the gimmicks, you could do this without necessarily having to move around multiple coins. You could just do this by the nature of the gaps themselves. And also, they allow you to show your hands empty, which is exactly what Dean does at the end of this sequence. So whereas you are temporarily dirty right now, you could actually clean up by simply grabbing the coins and sliding them, which is a very natural action. And that allows him to offload the coins and essentially show his hands empty right before the amazing and unbelievable sequence that you're about to watch, which is the ending of Explosion. Now, it seems to me that that ending is entirely done to wag his big penis at participants that may think, oh, I know how this is done. You're just using multiple coins. And he goes, yeah, you're right. Here's 17 more coins. Here's 17 more coins. Bitch, how's that, huh? Didn't see that coming, did ya? And it really is an unbelievable ending to what is already a tremendous matrix or coins across style routine, because you really don't see this coming. I've always thought that his choreography for this particular section is also beautiful because he's showing his hands empty, and yet he's able to make these coins appear just in all different spots of the table. And it's just a perfect example of why Dean Dill is heavily missed and one of the true masters of our art. Just like how my uncle is a master of stealth anal.
I see you again, when 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 I see you again.